Hello, my name is Shirley and welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 as Merina Kingdom. In previous episode we managed to conquer Cathedra over here in 2 parts. And then now, I suppose Casamid State, if I was to declare war on you, we still got cordial relations. You are hurting the relations though, so I suppose I could damage the relations there. But if I was to declare war on you, I might be able to get quite a bit of population for Yemen, which would allow it to be actually beneficial state for us. Suppose we could incorporate already, oh, well it's 20 years to do it, okay, maybe. Well, if we do want to incorporate, we have to start it soon. But we're currently trying to pass the property to women. We did pass the wealth voting in the last episode. So I'm guessing that will at least increase the people that can vote in the next election. The next election is about 2 years. We'll see how it goes, but I suppose the Devout are still fairly strong. So Conservative Party does have a pretty decent sort of overall clout. But at the same time, Intelligentsia is now leading quite a bit in terms of the clout in there. Now, if we could get the armed forces... Oh, there we go. Health system increased. So the population increase should be... Oh, yeah, now we're getting about 250,000 per year. And it's just going to pick up more and more speed over time. So that's definitely good news for us. We're making a lot of money again. Even though we increased the government wages a little bit, we could probably increase the army wages as well. I mean... We've got a very tiny army, so actually we can just go for the max there. Get the armed forces be very happy so we can get the extra offense and defense. Could be quite handy. Now, if we do have a look at Casamid State, oh, and the electricity shortages in there. Casamid State, how much do you have troops? You've got 5 plus 14. What is the troop quality then? Irregulars, and in the conscripts you've got line infantry, but nothing too bad. Mining accident in Yemen. I could increase the industrialist power. Or trade unions, or rural folk. I'm gonna go for the industrialists this time around. So now, there we go, they're not actually the second highest yet in terms of cloud, but they are pretty decent overall in there. And we've got 5 to 8 weeks for the open heart process, that going to increase our steel production a lot. Now, to be fair, we've got a little bit of authority in here, so I suppose what we could do... we don't have that much industry in here. We've got a lot of industry in Amhara, actually. So I could put in a decree for manufacturing industry in there. That should definitely help a little bit with the income. I mean, the GDP is it's kind of stagnant, been stagnant for a little while here, but we are making more money. We could probably increase the construction speed even further, actually. Let's get another construction sector over there. Turmoil isn't too bad. The infrastructure levels are a little bit on the downside, but we're getting another railway in there soon enough, and we're still making 11,000 per week, although that doesn't include the oh, actually, I do wonder, if we were to reduce the taxes even further, that would potentially be a bit too much. That would get us to the next bracket in legitimacy, though. So, not necessarily the worst. But I think we're going to keep it at low taxes for the time being. And there we go, open heart process. Let's switch the... Oh, right, actually, we've inherited a lot of buildings. I'm just going to go through these real quick. So, open heart process, we get another 210 steel produced, which is going to be quite nice. It is going to reduce laborers and increase machinists and engineers, so the payment is actually going to be higher on those people, which I have a feeling that they will appreciate it. Get some more arts academies, and these are on Portuguese. Patronage. Arms industry, we could go with the breech loader, but that would reduce the small arms production even further. That would increase the employment for engineers, I suppose, but I think we'll keep it as is for the time being. Now we're making £12,000 per week. Well, I mean, at least... Oh, there we go. Property women. So workforce ratio is going to be even increased. Now, let's have a look at if there's any other laws that we could try passing. I mean, there's the colonial affairs. We don't really have the bureaucracy to do that one, though. We can't really go any higher in the voting laws there yet, but that's probably alright. We haven't really had elections with the wealth voting yet anyway, so we don't need to rush with that one. We could go for the secret police. No, actually, the intelligence would oppose that. Armed Forces is the only one that would support that one. Same with the National Guard. At least from the government. If we try to go for the professional army, intelligence would oppose that. It would radicalize the rural folk. But beyond that, it's actually not that bad. I mean, the rural folk would be bad, losing those from the government, but we could probably do that. Once they get a little bit less upset by some of the... Well, I suppose it's mostly just the radical numbers. Once those keep dropping further, it'll be fine. Oh, there we go. We standard of living of 13.7 on average now. I mean, Yemen is... Well, it's got 15.4 in there. That's not half bad, actually. There's not a lot of unemployed there, though. And over here, how's the tax collection? It is still minus 37%. We haven't even started incorporating this, to be fair. So we'll probably build another 2 government administrations in there, at least. At least, also, we did manage to increase the health system level in there, at least to some degree. So that will help us to some degree. There's a lot of degrees of some sort in there. Right, so we do actually have a little bit more pops available in northern Madagascar. What is making a lot of profit here? The steel mill is making a lot of profit, so we'll give that another level. And slowly but surely we're going to get a lot more steel production. Did we do that? Yeah, we do have another construction sector underway. That's going to allow us to do 2 buildings full speed construction at the same time. I suppose, well, I reckon a lot of that workforce was just the women entering the workforce, wasn't it? At least a decent degree of it was, no doubt. Actually, no, they didn't enter the workforce directly yet, but regardless, the laws that we changed did help there. Still got 740, well, over 700,000 debt to pay back, but that is actually going down rather quickly, so we're making more and more money. The construction cost is still pretty high, but we are going to be increasing the construction sectors overall. I'm just going to put that one up here to be done after the tooling workshop in Somaliland, because that is going to allow us to employ more people in here. And the standard of living, well, it's 12.8. It's not massive, but it's getting better and better. The steel mill in Oromia is slowly being done as well. Is there... I don't suppose there's a lot of production methods that I could change to increase the employment of... well, I mean, there's a few different things, but not a lot of them. Oh, there we go. Election season. Let's see. Looks like Agrarian Party and Liberal Party. Oh, Liberal Party. Okay, that's something I want to win. Because it's both intelligentsia and the industrialists. Landowners joined the Agrarian Party. What? Well, the Conservative Party is not going to be in the power then, I suppose. That's interesting, but we did also get the legitimacy up by now. For at least a little bit. So that does mean that the loyalists should be going up slightly faster and a little bit less radicals, I suppose. Although not necessarily massive difference in there. If we could get back to the 90 legitimacy or something like that, that'd be brilliant. A torrent of gin and beer. No beer, no vote. Yeah, I suppose we'll take the Liberal Party a little bit more momentum in there. They've got a massive momentum, actually. Alright then, so... Well, these two are going to be the leading parties anyway. We don't have a lot of pops in there. I suppose one thing that I could do... I was going to get the 5 barracks in Somaliland. Just so that we're going to have the 15 battalions in here at least. And then once we conquer Tigray, we're going to get a little bit more. Of course, that is going to be a little bit on the expensive side, but we need to just reduce the infamy a bit further, and I think it will be fine. We are still trying to reduce... Oh, customer state is already at 7. Oh, because both sides are reducing it. So no wonder it's going down. We've actually got decent relations with Germany now. Oh, and Austria-Hungary has formed. Already at 1906. We've got 30 years ago, or 29, I suppose. But like this time around, while we haven't necessarily conquered that much more land than we did in the Hedgehouse playthrough, our economy is in a lot better state, and our nation in general is in a lot better state. Especially since we don't need to pay 20% of our total income to Egypt. That does help. The grand plan pays off. Momentum of the Agrarian Party. Or loan interest rate. Oh! Yeah, I'll take that one. Loan interest rate goes down drastically. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting Liberal Party into the government. Because they are going to be the biggest party in there. It'd be a shame if they wouldn't be in the government, let's just put it that way. So the land, or the rule folk are still at -1. But I suppose if we can reduce the radicals from their group a bit further. Police brutality. North Madagascar, low strata pops more radical. I'm going to take that one though. I don't want to reduce the investment right now. And plus that gives us the bonus from the patriotic fervor. So that does help. And now we're making £15,000 per week with low taxes. If we were to go all the way to the very low taxes, legitimacy at least would be up. Less than, or about a week away from the election. I'm interested to see how much we can do with that. But we've got 3 powerful interest groups right now. 2 of which are in the Liberal Party. Liberal Party alone would be 60. Which is better than what we have right now, so I suppose we'll take that one. Confirm. Especially once the ruler switches. Hopefully soon. That's already 71 years old. And the heir is already 50. So that heir is not going to have a lot of time ruling, unfortunately. But it's, I suppose, better than nothing. We could try passing the private health insurance at some point, because that would start reducing the devou's political strength. That would also increase the max health system institution investment. So overall, you can still get it better. But yeah, that's at least one of the laws that we could try passing. Who would... Devour would oppose that, they would be radicalized, so that's not necessarily something that we'll not try passing right now then. Then there's the Fruit of Conscience, that would radicalize the Devout as well. Or Total Separation. It would radicalize them even further. If we go for this one, that would reduce the Devout's political strength a little bit. I think I might want to go for that one. We'll see if it radicalizes them too bad. If it does, I mean, they are quite radicals right now, so they're really angry. That's probably going to start increasing the radicals a lot more. No doubt, but if we can... Oh, yeah, never mind. 101 radicalism there. Right, I guess we won't pass that law then. Oh, we could change away from... Oh, if we go for Presidential Republic. Devour would oppose that drastically. Okay, that's not necessarily something we're going to do then. What about this one? The Devout would also oppose that one. Yeah, okay, so we probably won't go through there. The voting laws, we could go for census suffrage. Industrialists would oppose that, and landowners would oppose that. But then the wealth threshold for voting would be 15. Which honestly isn't too bad. It would reduce the authority a little bit, but that's not the end of the world. So that's one of the things that we could try passing. We could go for the guaranteed liberties. Armed forces would oppose that one. But then that would allow us to... Oh, there's a lot of bureaucracy that we need for it. But the revolution or secession's progress speed would go down, and radicals from standard of living decreases, and loyalists from standard of living increases would be improved. So I think we are going to try to go for this one. I don't know if it's going to pass. And we're going to need a lot more bureaucracy. That's for sure. So the infamy is down to 11.2. If I do want to go for war against Casimid State, who would join them? Oh, it's 22.5 infamy from that. Okay, that's a bit too much. So we'll just have to wait on that one. How's Yemen's population doing now on our side anyway? 191,000. That is at least improving. We're still making money. We only have about 250,000 of debt to pay back. That's going quite nicely. And oh, hold on a minute. France and the Confederates are fighting. About what? Oh, France wants to ban slavery in Confederate states, and then Confederates are wanting to make the French market a free market and conquer some of their colonies down here, like Herero land and Namakwa land. So basically these two states here is what they want. Oh, they want to conquer Benin, but then Austro-Hungary is in there. Or did they already conquer Benin, perhaps? No, not yet. Well, that is weird. Oh, a bit of an interesting happenstance there. So unfortunately, our relations with Liège is not really going down. And Casimir State would cost us a lot of infamy. So I guess what we'll just need to do is wait for the infamy to drop down. We're going to get a little bit more troops in here. And then once we do our war against Tigray, after a while... how's our relation with Britain, actually? They are still cordial. We could probably improve those a little bit further, just to make sure that they do not interfere in our war declaration or anything like that. And the credit is almost paid back. Oh, and now we're... Right, we lost some of the extra expenditures that we had. Well, I suppose we lost those ages ago, to be fair. But now we could probably reduce the taxes even further. Okay, we're going to be losing a bit of money. But we can increase the legitimacy, and I'm sure that the radical number should be going down even further. And maybe the loyalists will start increasing. I'm not entirely sure. We can probably afford keeping it in here for at least a little bit. We're getting more railways in Amhara, for example. Is there... I suppose if we have a look at taxation capacity, so there's a few places with low taxation. Oh, well, a little bit problems in there. Electricity shortage. Insufficient construction for investment pool. I mean, no kidding. Expensive government... Oil is expensive. Oh. Interesting. Opium is expensive. And we've got a lot of states in turmoil, to be fair. But we're slowly reducing the turmoil. Very slowly reducing the turmoil. What are we getting next? We're getting the enlistment officers. So that's going to unlock the better conscript law. Or the mass conscription law. Which would allow us to build a lot more barracks again. It's not necessarily the best law, but it is at least good for a large army. And our economy, quite frankly, we could just increase the taxes again, I suppose. We'll just do that so we're not losing money. We could maybe afford increasing construction speed even further. Let's go ahead and get another one over here. We'll get another 4 in there, actually. Get it to full 10, and that's going to be getting us to well over 100 construction speed total. There we go, enlistment officers. Right. What are we getting over here? We're getting the aniline. That's going to get us to the synthetic plants. We don't really... Well, I suppose synthetic silk would be... Or artificial silk would be quite nice. Organization would like the bicycle merchants for the barracks, and that could be quite useful. Or we could go for society, labor movement. So we'll go for that one real quick. And then we'll go for military. And we'll see what it starts spreading to us. I mean, some of these could be... Oh, a better navy, I suppose, is not the worst. We'll go for that one. And now we're getting another construction sector already being built. That's the one that we added to the list earlier. But there we go, that's at least making the construction speeds in Oromia and Amhara a lot better. And we're going to keep on expanding the various things in here a lot faster as well. We're now making £19,000 per week. And we got guaranteed liberties. Okay, so now we're losing a lot of taxes because of that. Alright then, I'm going to increase the government funding to very high. So we might not be making a lot of money. We don't have a lot of debt to pay back, at least. And I suppose we'll just have to... How much is it per level of government administration again? Well, let's see. So that would be 50 to like 65? Somewhere around there? Yeah, I think it's 65 per level. So if we just build another 2 over here in Oromia, that will probably be enough. Let's get the construction sectors built first so we can build faster. We'll be maybe using a bit more money, but at the same time the investment pool is already 32 million. It's just insane. But at least at the same time, the GDP is now at 38, so we're still number 17 worldwide, but at least we're slowly regaining some of the speed on increase in here, or increasing the standard of living and the... Or GDP, but the standard of living has also been going up a little bit. How's the... Turmoil is 35% in here. I suppose what we could do is we can cancel that one. And then let's put in some... Do we have... We've got a decent bit of industries in here. So what I suppose I could do is I could put in another decree for... The resource industry might not be bad one in there either for the mines, but there's not that many mines in there, quite frankly. So I'm just going to go for another manufacturing industry boost in there. So that should increase the total throughput of these. And that way we'll get a bit more money. I mean, the market access is a bit reduced. But if we can increase or employ more people at the factories, the standard of living will hopefully increase, at least to some degree. It might not be a lot, mind you, but at least a little bit. And we got all the construction sectors done now, so now we're building a lot more. Getting 2 government administration in Amhara. After that, we'll get another 2 over here once we get the Somaliland barracks and all that. Labor movement is going to be done in a few weeks, so that's good. Still got a bit of low market access in a lot of places. And oil is a bit low on our market. Do we have any more whaling stations over here? Only got 1, but it's not really hiring a lot because the meat price is not a lot. And the oil price, while it's good, it's not producing all that much of it. I suppose we could actually put the clippers there, so that's going to increase the productivity a little bit. Labor movement unlocked. Good. Russia damage in relation. Do we have another one over here, whaling stations? We do actually have 4 in here. Put the whaling fleet there, so that's going to increase the total production there. So, the peace with... Did Confederates actually ban slavery now? No, they still got slavery in there. Alright then. Ah, quinine is spreading to us. Good. So, looks like the radical numbers are slowly dropping again. If we could start increasing standard of living to like at least 15, that would be already a good sort of stepping stone on reducing all the radical, well, not necessarily all, but as much of radicals as we can be reducing. And the population, well, it's not actually increasing quite as much as it used to. It's still going up. Oh, there's an app poll. Oh, who deserves the credit? I'm going to increase the farmers, or the rural folk attraction. So that might be away from the devout and landowners again. Oh, what's this then? Dar al-Kuti. Oh, over there, okay. Right, so that's a bit of problems there. Not my issues, though. I'm guessing... Oh, right, we've got... Those relations are already pretty low. We don't need to reduce them any further, I reckon. Right, so Oman is a vassal of Egypt, so we can't declare war on them. Of course, we don't need to wait for too long until the infamy has dropped far enough. There's the poor laws. I mean, I suppose there is a lot of support for it. I'm going to try passing it. It is, again, yet another bureaucracy sink, though, but we've got a decent bit of government administration underway, and we could probably build even further. I think what we're going to do is we're going to build another construction sector over here. There's plenty of unemployed in this state as well. So if we can just get through all of this, that'd be nice. And we got about 33 million in the investment pool. So the investment pool is massive, as per usual. I suppose if I wasn't upgrading things manually, or letting them go up sort of manually, we could make a lot of money by... Let's see, where do we have the... I think it's the mines at least. Where do we have extra iron mines? Oh, one in Eritrea, okay. Right, so if we're not expanding those... Oh, and these could be privately owned. The more capitalists, less shopkeepers, but that actually means better paying jobs, and the shopkeepers can work elsewhere then. Deployment, or development, sorry. Over here we could... Oh, actually. Do you want to go for the government run? That would reduce the capitalists a lot, so actually probably not. We'll keep the railways privately owned. But that is probably... Oh, right, the construction. We haven't unlocked anything new there. The investment pool is just... It is increasing massively. Of course, we are also increasing our construction... Ooh, rubber. In Amhara. We could have 26 plantations in here. How's the rubber price in our market right now? Actually, we can probably see it through here. It's not really that bad. So there's plenty of rubber available. At least we're now getting the government administration. So that is going to allow us to get some of our tax pounds back, I suppose. And landowners are quite upset about this poor laws being passed. But I think we are going to pass it regardless. And then once these two are done, we're going to get a bit more bureaucracy, hopefully. We haven't still incorporated Amhara, to be fair. There's a lot of cost in there that we need to cover to be able to incorporate. So we'll probably just have that as a sort of unincorporated area for the time being. How's the radicals are dropping again, so that's good. The loyalists are slowly climbing up, so we almost got 200,000 again, which is still massively smaller than what we have radicals. But at least there is some improvement happening in there. Right, apparently we need some more tax capacity in Madagascar as well. Did we have... Yeah, we got a bit of problem there. Get another administration there, and then... Oh, the railway... Right, I forgot. The railways are still on the... Actually, yeah, we can subsidize them all. But stop the auto expansion. So we don't really have quite as many buildings over here, and eventually we can just, you know, let the private sector take all the construction for a little while. Save us a lot of money by doing that, actually. Yeah, that'd be saving us about 35,000 per week. Rubber rush. Aha, Northern Madagascar. It's going to get some more immigration as well. How many can we have there? 16 plantations. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all, and I suppose there is probably a decent bit of immigration happening in there now. Yeah, 26,000. Not too bad. Per year, that is. Right, down to 6.5 infamy, so... I think before the end of this playthrough, we will have at least all of Ethiopia, except maybe the Eritrea held by Egypt. And then I'll try to get the rest of Yemen as well. So not only going to be expanding all that much, but we are building the nation up fairly nicely, I dare say. Not perfect, mind you, but it is going up at least. And we got poor laws. Okay, so welfare payments are going to be costing us a little bit, but at the same time... Oh, right, and the bureaucracy is, again, minus 90. So yeah, it is costing us quite a bit, but now at least that is going to reduce the turmoil. At least to some degree, so overall... Oh, Burundi. What's this then? Oh, return Indian Mysore. Oh, they're one part of that state there. Alright then. If we have a look at the allegiances, so France has a lot of battalions that they're now mobilizing. So no wonder that the British are feeling a little bit worried about this. Because they've got a lot of supporters in there as well, but don't suppose those are really active yet. But regardless, whatever happens there is none of my business. It's just going to keep the big boys busy. So I can do a bit of expansion over here in Ethiopia instead. So about half a year away from being able to declare the war on Tigray without getting the infamy too high. Infamy going too high has got two problems in there. One, more nations are more likely to then join against you. And two, you'll get more radicals. And with our radical numbers, we've still got close to a quarter of our population being radicals. So we've got a bit of work to do in reducing that. Oh, there we go. Landowners are no longer upset. Well, they're still upset, but not quite as much upset. Right, is there any other laws that we could try passing? Not going to go for the colonial affairs. We could try passing the private health insurance. The Deval would oppose that. Trade unions would oppose that. The industrial would absolutely endorse that. And that would allow us to get more max health, or the investment in there. Although that would require more bureaucracy, so I'm not entirely sure. The religion, there's the freedom of conscience, but that would radicalize the devout. I'm going to see if they will cause issues there. They might, like, if the revolution starts brewing, they will stop that. I mean, it probably will start brewing, but the problem, or question is it going to have enough radicalism to actually fire? If it doesn't, then we'll be fine. We'll try to pass that law. If it does, then we'll just stop passing it. And there we go. We should be getting a bit more bureaucracy soon enough. Also getting a bit more construction sectors. That's going to get us to 110 points total. And the investment pool is still growing. We've got 41 million GDP now. We're still 17th in worldwide though. I suppose we need to have 83 now to be in the list. Or about 84 million probably. So we still need to more than double our GDP if we want to be in the top 10. Probably won't get there, let's be honest. But we can at least try. And we're still losing quite a bit of taxes, but at the same time, I suspect that the turmoil is actually probably dropping quite a bit now. Well, I mean, the radical numbers are still pretty darn high, especially outside of Madagascar. But I suppose the turmoil, that's still 34%, 28%. Okay, so that has been going down. Ah, Central Archives completed. Filing cabinets. Ooh. We get more bureaucracy. Or identification documents, we get 4,500 points there. I'm going to take that one. Because, while it is not spreading up to us right now, we've got the quinine spreading, and then, okay, so that's over there. That is more taxation capacity, to be fair. That could be quite nice. The extra bureaucracy could be quite useful as well, but I don't think we need to worry about that one too much yet. We're getting a bit more textile mills inside of Madagascar. Resource boom inside of Madagascar. Ooh. We could increase the standard of living. You know what, we're going to do that one. If we're going to increase the standard of living there even further, then that's going to increase our loyalist numbers, most likely. Yeah, we've got a standard of living of 17 in there now. And 15 in northern Madagascar. What about elsewhere? So that's still 13 or 20.9 or 12.9, sorry. 12.6, 13.2, 15.7, and 15.7. So these two are pretty high. I mean, the wages are just very high because, you know, there's a massive worker shortage. But in the other areas, it's not too bad necessarily. Oh, another revolution. Oh, it's 97%. Okay, but we're not going to deal with that today. We are going to have to call the episode here. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, got the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.